My name is Rahi Chun. I'm a certified somatic sex educator and a sexological body worker, and I've created a body of work called Sexual Wholeness, which repairs ruptures sequentially from someone's developmental years through their adolescence into their adulthood. And yeah, I've just always been fascinated with the human body and energy and healing, and particularly the intersection of that with spirituality and sexuality. And so the ways in which people start to embody their sexual experiences, including any ruptures, and how to repair them and release trauma, guarding, and armor from the tissues and fascia of the body.
Great, great. And so out of your work, you have just launched a brand new course, which I'm very excited about. Can you tell me a little bit about your course?
So the course is called The Three Keys to Genital Dearmoring for Reclaiming and Expanding Pleasure. I'm very, very excited about it. So the course itself really focuses on empowering the participants to really take ownership of their body, their sexuality, their genitalia, by understanding how genital armor forms and how the genital armor can release. So I really wanted to empower participants with this wisdom, with this knowledge, and with this capacity to de-armor their own bodies in the privacy of their own homes, or hold space for the de-armoring of their partners or their loved ones. Yeah, it's really exciting because over the years, I've worked on literally hundreds of bodies, and it's the most common issue. And most people don't realize, as they get older, why they're feeling less sensitivity, less arousal and pleasure response. And so much of it has to do with the accumulation of genital armor over time. And so I find that it's like an unspoken about phenomenon. And so I really want to put this information and knowledge into people's hands so they can really take ownership of their own bodies and of their own sexual freedom.
That's great. Well, congratulations on the course launch. Very exciting. And tell me a little bit about how kind of your journey in your business and your growth in your area has led you to create this course and what inspired creating this course.
Touch really healed my own body. My mother was a nurse. I had certain ailments that her devoted daily touch really, really resolved for me. So as an adult, I was really fascinated with the healing properties of touch. And that led me to becoming a sexological body worker. I was trained and assisted in a modality called neuroaffective touch. I was drawn to different Taoist energy and blood flow resolving techniques. I've studied with a group in Europe called Dearmouring Arts. So it's kind of like following my curiosity down the rabbit hole. And, over time, just recognizing how prevalent people's self-guarding or self-protective mechanisms start to desensitize their touch receptors, and how that affects their sexual life force and vitality. And so really, wanting to empower clients in embodying and having the kind of sexual intimacy and freedom that they really want.
That's beautiful. That's great. And that's a lot leading up to it. So tell me, with this course in particular, compared to other courses you may have seen in this general area, what makes this course unique?
The curation. Essentially, I've traveled the world to find the best approaches and methods of de-armoring the pelvis and genitalia. I've studied in Europe, I've studied in Asia, here in North America, and I really feel like I'm drawing the best from all of these different sources: Taoist sources, tantric sources, de-armoring sources, sexological body worker sources. And I just really wanted the course to be practical, efficient, and fun. And so there are video demos of me working on different bodies, different genitalia, circumcised penis, uncircumcised penis, different vulvas, different vaginas. to really show visually and train people in the privacy of their own home, how to really take ownership in expanding their pleasure potential. So I think what's unique is the curation of how many different sources I draw from. The video demos are really clear, and that people can really explore this in the privacy and at the pace that they feel safe and comfortable with.
So let's take a step back and really dig into some of the details to make sure we understand kind of the depth of the course itself. Starting with can you just tell us more about what is genital dearmoring when you break it down?
To put it simply, armor forms through the wisdom of the body when it feels threatened, when there is and the threat could be something as severe as a sexual or physical violation, or something as simple as someone's judgment or self-judgment about parts of their body. The wisdom of the body is such that it wants to protect itself from any hurt, threat, or pain. And so it will start to harden around the area that feels it's threatened in order to protect it. And, this happens a lot around the genitalia. So, it could be from painful or traumatic medical procedures. I see that a lot. It could be from non-consensual penetration. It could be from being with a partner who one loves, but even if they don't really want to have sex, they're going along with it to please the other person, even though their body's not really into it. So these are all instances when the sensitivity of the genitalia, which is tremendous, can start to desensitize in order to protect itself from feeling things it doesn't want to do. That's kind of the easiest way to describe genital armor. Any part of the body can form this armor. Again, like if my arm was being hit repeatedly, the tissue and fascia would start to harden to protect itself from that pain. And it's no different in our pelvis.
So you started to talk about some different scenarios where genital armoring comes about, and kind of leading into that question a little bit more. Who is this course for? To just kind of expand on that idea.
The course is for everyone who's inhabiting a body, because genital armor, if you're living and being conditioned in our society that has a lot of unfortunate judgments around sexuality, whether they're religious conditioning or cultural conditioning or societal conditioning, all of these influences are going to affect a desire to protect, self-protect, and self-guard. So it's really for anyone who desires a more intimate connection and understanding of their genitalia, anyone who desires a more self-empowering understanding of their pleasure and erogenous zones, and anyone who is interested in holding space for a loved one, a partner, a lover, who wants more sensitivity in their arousal and pleasure experiences.
So if I say, hey, I'm sold, I want to be a part of this course, and I sign up today, what does my experience of going through this course look like?
So there are 4 modules, and there's a Zoom support call to complement each of the modules in the course. I want to make sure that people not only get the information, but they feel comfortable to practice and really get it experientially in their body. And so I've designed it so that there's a Zoom support call essentially following each of the modules being released. So we're traveling through it together, as a group. And all of them are recorded, so you don't have to attend each call. But there's support there to have any questions answered, addressed, any issues, any difficulties, essentially, I want to be your guide throughout the whole process from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm. Great. And then what would I expect to gain from this course as a student?
Sure. So as a participant, there are many things you can gain. So one is an understanding of how your nervous system and the state of your nervous system really affects your body's availability to pleasure. Ways to explore that with a partner or with yourself. Um, there's a whole sequence on how to explore the 11 erogenous zones of your body, either with a partner or by yourself, and video demos to guide you through that experience. There's a section on how to really attune to what the body desires, learn how to give voice to that, either vocally or through hand gestures, and to receive what it is that your body wants and only what your body wants. It's a way of really reconditioning the body so that it's used to getting exactly what it wants. And then there are video demos of a process called genital mapping, which is a felt sense erogenous anatomy education. And there are videos on vulvas, vaginas, and cocks. And then there are video demonstrations on the dearmoring process. So, in order to de-armor the genitalia, one has to become really familiar with what these different erogenous zones, where they are and what they're designed to feel like. So it's part education, it's part experiential understanding and reclaiming what those erogenous zones are for your body, and then releasing any armor that's there.
That's great. I love the guidance throughout it and you being able to support the journey of going through the course. I think that's really important for this type of thing. So that's great. Is there anything we didn't cover about the course that you would like to mention?
Well, I just want to share that, sexuality is an extremely vulnerable and personal aspect of one's existence. And so, in the group calls, people can participate with their video off. They can use an anonymous name. We really want to respect everyone's privacy. And the Zoom calls are designed to really empower the participant to really know what they're doing, module by module. And so that there's no unanswered question or no area that doesn't feel supported for them.
Great. Well, thank you and congratulations again on your course launch. Very exciting. Thanks for sharing today.